I came up hard, the only reason I'm still shining is God, yeah. So schoolmates, don't be shocked, believe it's Rodney. Now I'm here, it ain't a soul that can stop me.
How you doing out there, boxing fans? We got two of some great legends here today at this wonderful boxing event. We got the heroic Termite Watkins and the Willie Savannah. All righty, how y'all doing?
Doing absolutely wonderful.
All right, how you doing?
Great.
All right.
Fantastic.
All right. So we want you to kind of tell the world about this beautiful Wonders event we got going on here. I also like to say I'm glad to be here and be a part of such a big event. And it's only growing bigger every day and every year. So y'all look out for it. First, Mr. Termite Watkins, why don't you tell the world about yourself, who you are, and how you got to this point?
Well, I'm Termite Watkins. I'm out of Houston, Texas. This is Fighter Nation. This is my gym. It's a Christian organization. The way I got involved in boxing is about when I was 10 years old. My dad got me involved. It got me off the streets. I was kind of a troubled kid, and my dad got me off the streets by getting me in boxing. I had some of the great trainers like Joe Brown, Kenny Weldon, people like this that got my career started off in the right direction. I went on to win the Nationals at 16 years old, made the USA team at 16 or 17, turned professional, had a great professional career, had 65 pro fights, had 58 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws, 48 KOs. But the biggest part of my career is this right here, because this fight is all about, I learned from the best. I learned from the best, Willie Savannah, but it's all about the kids. Okay. All about the kids.
Okay, cool. Now you have that world. Another thing I want to tell you about, for the people that haven't known about this guy, I did a lot of research on him, and I want you to kind of shortly tell him about you serving your country. I think the world needs to hear this. It's a great story. Could you in short term explain to them about your work out there and during the war?
First of all, I'm real big on America. I'm proud to be an American, and as Don King would say, I'm an American, I'm proud of it. He wears the jacket.
Only in America.
Only in America. Only in America. And Don King is right. This is the greatest country in the world. And what happened in 2003, our servicemen, our military, needed some pest control support in Iraq. We're not talking about for the war, against the war. I'm for our military. Okay, not going to get into the political part of it. But they needed pest control support. I had the opportunity. I went to Iraq and started serving our country by serving our military. They found out I was a professional fighter and challenged me to get the country of Iraq to the Olympics. And in 2004, I was blessed, got fortunate that I got Iraq to the Olympics.
All right, you have to hear that. Another thing I wanted to ask you, when did you get started with this particular gym? And tell me what inspired you and what continues to inspire you to do the good community service that you do. I think they would love to hear that.
Let me start off with what inspires me. People like Willie Savannah, and I really mean that. He's one of my heroes in the boxing game. I've seen him work with kids for 33 years, and when I got out of boxing, I got back into boxing. Now this part of it's a lot tougher, but it's it's so rewarding. But about a year and a half ago, let me rephrase that, about 3 years ago, my pastor at our church, Fellowship of the Nations, said, Termite, why don't we open a boxing gym in our gym, which is right here. The timing wasn't right then, but about a year and a half ago, the timing got real right. And we come in here and we put together a boxing team. We started we promoted the Golden Gloves. We've done that twice. This is the Junior Olympics. This is our second time to do the Junior Olympics. We did the regional the first 2 times. This is a state tournament, and this is a pretty big tournament. And but that's how I got started in this part of it.
Yes, it is. This is a big tournament. It's only getting bigger every year. Now, Mr. Willie, tell the world about yourself and all the great, wonderful things you did, and let them know about your gym as well.
Well, my gym opened February the 1st, 1980. Okay. before that, I raised 9 underprivileged boys in my home, and they were all like football players and stuff. So I was commissioner of Little League football, Little League baseball, all that kind of stuff. And when these boys went away to college and graduated from high school and stuff, I didn't have anything to do. So I said, now I'm free. I can go to happy hour like everybody else do. So I stayed drunk for about 2 months, and I said, it's got to be something better than this. So what I did was went to the Golden Glove at the old Olympic Auditorium downtown, and I fell in love with boxing. And I got with Kenny Weldon for a while. I had Anthony Wildcat Wiley, had Ronnie Shields, 3-time national champion. I took him over to Kenny Weldon, and then eventually I opened my own gym. And I had Ronnie Shields. Ronnie Shields was in the top 10 in the world, or top 5 in the world for 5 consecutive years. Fought for the world championship. He was the NABF champion. And I started out, I didn't know the first thing. First thing I did was I went to Hugh Bimbo, who used to supply a lot of boxing equipment, and I had a little gym about 2,000 square feet. I bought 25 heavy bags. Man, I didn't have no room to put them all. I didn't have no room to put this. I didn't know. And I started reading books about this business of boxing. And people said, well, I don't know why he opened a boxing gym. He don't know what he's doing. But at the time, I was a manager for Southern Pacific Railroad in Baytown and LaPorte. And I said, well, if I can operate a $10 million a month railroad, I can operate a boxing gym. And so as we went along, and then met Termite, Bill Watkins Jr., Termite's brother, and it was just an experience. Back in those days, I had about 15 professional fighters, but I was always upset because my trainers wouldn't work with the young kids that came in. It was on Martin Luther King and Van Fleet at the time. And I said, what's happening to our kids? The heck with the pros. We got to grow. You got to sow your seeds and grow. And next thing I looked around, I didn't have not one amateur. And so now I have about 200 amateurs. I probably have more amateurs than any gym in the United States of America. And the thing about the kids, it keeps them off the street. It keeps them making better grades in school. The zip code I'm in got more gains than any zip code in the state of Texas. And I've lost money for 33 consecutive years and proud of it. You know what I'm saying? But these kids is what I love. And I had Termite. Termite was one of my trainers for a while too.
And that's what I wanted to ask you about too. Mr. Termite here, he's already explained in his words how you guys met and how you work together. Explain to me in a short sentence, in your words, your relationship with Mr. Termite Watkins, and as far as what y'all did to accomplish what y'all have accomplished.
Well, see, Termite was boxing. Potato Pie, I think, was training you at the time, right? And Termite made a comeback, and then he was doing real good. And then I had another fighter that I got Termite to come over my gym to help me. You know, I needed guys like Termite and experience, not a bunch of lazy trainers and stuff. And that's why I was surprised when I came over here. I saw Termite about 3 years ago at a Golden Glove. But then I was surprised that he was over here doing what he does over here, which is great. I mean, we need everybody in Houston to helping these kids. And Termite is right on the ball. He and his staff, I'm telling you.
And by the way, great staff. I'm a part of it. But anyway, Mr. Termite, I would like for you to tell the world, talk to them about the relationship you have with these young kids. And the reason I want you to explain to the world this is because a lot of people, and being a boxing trainer, a lot of people tend to think that they look at the negative side and think, oh, it's a violent sport and things. But I always tell them, and I want you to reiterate what I always tell them, and I tell them that it's a humbling sport. It humbles you more than it does anything. You know what I'm saying? So explain to them, what does it do for these kids mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and how does it give them advantage when it's time to go and live in the real world?
First, I want to say the words that Reverend Ray Martin says. A kid can't pull a gun, pull a trigger, open a knife with boxing gloves on, and he can't do it. He can't do it. So that's one good thing. But we help them direct that energy into something positive. You know, a kid's either going to go this way or this way. We help them go this way, okay? And we give them a place to go. His kids, my kids, they have a place to go to where maybe they didn't have a place to go after school or during the summer or whatever. But we give them an area to go to. We build their confidence. We're not here to beat on them and, tear them down. We like to build them up. But in this particular gym, Fighter Nation is a Christian organization. We keep God first. We start everything off with prayer. A big majority of the kids go to church with us. And so we show them that real men love Jesus, okay? And so we just kind of give them some direction. There's a lot of kids today that don't have fathers in their life. And so I'm probably a father to 60 kids where he's a father to 200 kids, okay? And we just give them some of that manly guidance that kids need today. And then we also give them, in our case, the spiritual guidance.